Another sports thing. We played in your side yard in your old house.
Oh yeah, that was the
Before you
wiffle
moved.
ball field.
We played ball there, and Neil and Bruce
Oh
Ellis.
gosh.
Neil and Bruce Ellis came
Oh.
over, and we're playing hardball this time. And the next door neighbors to grounds were the Lockards, and they never liked us walking through their yard. We walked through their yard so Flair wouldn't bite us walking up to my house.
Yeah, they didn't like any of
They
this.
didn't, and they accused us of killing their dog. one
Yeah,
time.
yeah, because they couldn't find this little nippy dog, and he turned up no apologies or anything.
But anyway, the guy.
We should never let that dog go.
Mr. Lockard was mowing his yard while we were playing baseball in Greg's yard, and Neil Ellis hit a home run. He hit a bomb, and it was, and we were just all watching it, and hitting from Greg's yard to the Lockards, and Mr. Lockard's mowing his yard, and he had a bald spot on top of his head. I'm not embellishing. This is
This
true.
is absolutely true.
And Neil hit this home run, and it went a mile high, and came down, hit him right in the bald head,
And knocked him down.
and knocked him out. He fell flat on his face with the lawnmower.
We did the responsible.
That's the truth.
We did the responsible thing. We all ran like hell as fast as
We did.
If the mower rolled back and rolled over, we would have not seen it.
But it was great because we didn't like him.
Oh my gosh.
We thought Neil did it on purpose.
Oh yeah, that.
I don't know.
I truly don't remember the aftermath, but I remember it was perfect, right on that bald spot, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't think he was hurt that bad, but just something hit him and knocked him down. That is.
He did fall on his face, so that
They had a daughter, didn't they? Did they have an older boy?
Joe Lockard.
Joe Lockard, and did they have she had a much older brother, older
Maybe,
than us? or
yeah,
something?
about Bill's age, maybe.
I don't know why they didn't care a lot for us. The people right across the
Because we
street,
killed their dog.
the people right across the street from them. What was that guy's name?
Bones?
No, right next to Bones.
I don't remember.
I remember when my cousins from California were here. They introduced us to a very popular game: ring people's doorbell late at night and then run away. For some reason, that was the house that was picked. And after the third time, this guy was rather irate. And he was an older gentleman, and he chased them all down the street, my older brothers, down Willow, and he fell in the gravel and he cut up his arms. And he came over to our house, and he called my dad out, with the back porch. Come out here, we're gonna fight right now because of your kids. And,
I never heard this.
Oh yeah, and my dad was irate at us, but also this guy was rather hostile about this. He went out, they were yelling, and he finally went home and nothing happened. But Dad decided there had to be a penalty, and so everybody got spanked. Now the thing was, I had not rung the bell, I had not run, I was considered too young, so I was just an observer. It's like if the Chiefs clipped and they penalized the people that were in the stands watching. But I got one of my first 2 spankings in my life that time. The other time was when my brother set the pasture on fire. We lived next to pasture where our house is now. Little incidental, they set it on fire and the fire department had to come and put it out. Again, I was an observer, but I got spanked.
Now, what else happened in our neighborhood back then, in those early days?
Well, do you remember when they were building our house and they were dynamiting my parents'
Oh,
new
yeah.
house? And to get to the sewers, there were a lot of rocks, so they had dug an enormous big hole, like 10 or 12 feet deep, and it rained and it all filled.
Yeah, filled up with water.
And-
Just like, I thought that was the excavation for your basement of your
No, it
house.
was in the street,
Okay.
because the house wasn't there yet, but they were putting in the street. And they came along and they filled it up with bulldozers and put dirt into it, and all the water came rushing out and came down and flooded our yard. My mom thought we had done it and came out yelling at us, "What are you kids doing?"
There was like 8 inches of water
Yeah, just
running
like
through your yard.
so, we didn't do anything.
That reminds me of Christmas days. We'd always call each other up, see what we got, and then we'd go play together with our guns and stuff. But this time, it was while you're in your old house, because I put on my brand new red hooded sweatshirt that I got for Christmas and came down to show my gun and whatever. So
Then
we're
it'd be
playing.
about 4th grade. I think we moved into the
Either
house
4th
5th or 6th.
Okay. It was before they were even built. So anyway, we made a fire again. It was Christmas, we were probably cold, so we made a fire in that empty yard lot. And I thought, let's send some smoke signals. So I took my brand new red sweatshirt and put it on the fire. Oh, it's on fire!
How are we on time? Is that one still working okay, time-wise? We can always get a copy of McGee's for the death deal.
25 minutes.
You know, it's funny you say about Christmas. There were times when we were growing up that you could buy actual toy guns that looked like they were real. I mean, now with everything politically correct, you can't. But you could buy a Thompson submachine gun.
M16.
And I got one. I got it in camouflage Thompson.
Oh, this is
submachine
Jay Gradinger's
Yes,
story.
that is. So Jay Gradinger lived next door, and I wanted to show him Christmas morning, so I went over there. I hadn't had this thing 10 minutes, and I slipped on ice on their porch and fell and broke the nozzle off of it. The Christmas present went to hell, just like that. I thought, what did this will teach me to get a gun for Christmas. So whenever we played, I always had the broken gun. We had to make something up for it, you know.
Sawed off.
And it had this spring in it, so it wouldn't just come off. So it was just sort of springy there. It was terrible. You know what we left out here on talking about those days was when Doug would have us go down to Robinson for the day. We were in grade school then, or Little Wildwood.
Yeah, both those places.
We'd
leave for the day.
We lived close to Wildwood Lake, and below Wildwood Lake was what we called Little Wildwood, which for a while in the 50s had a big resort area down there, didn't it? With a sand beach. But it later became, we found out, like a sewer sludge pond is what we were told. We didn't know this at the time. We were boating and recreating in it. And we wanted our own rafts and boats, so we found some old Skell gas tanks.
Yes, they're like propane tanks that were like 6 foot long.
And we lashed them together, so we had our own raft, like in King Kong when they're going after him and the brontosaurus gets them. And we're pulling out there, and some old guy comes out and says, "Don't you kids know that's a sewage pond?"
So Greg flipped him off.
Yeah, like we knew what that was, man. Oh, we were around those lakes. I guess parents,
They trusted us.
they probably didn't hear, you know, because there wasn't a 24-hour news cycle, they didn't hear about all the tragedies that happened and realized that letting kids, 9 and 10-year-olds, disappear for hours, play with fire, swim in lakes, might have some adverse consequences.
Well, Doug was probably the oldest, and he was probably 6th grade. So we might have been 4th grade or 3rd grade, because Doug was 3 grades ahead of us. But and then all the way down to Tommy. You know, he's 4 years younger than me. We'd all be gone for the whole day.
Yeah, we just did some. When I think back now, we're lucky we never had a serious injury or anything happen, but because we had a lot of times that there was some iffy times.
Well, our favorite game back then, when we didn't know what to do, was who can fall the best.
Yeah.
We always had guns, and we'd have contests. One guy would be it, and he would shoot all the other guys. So one at a time, we'd do something as spectacular as we could when we got hit with the gunshot. So we were always falling out of trees on our head and falling down rocks and everything. The realer you could make it, then you could be it and shoot everybody else. Who can fall the best?
Doug was the one that gave me 50 years of discomfort too. When I was in like the 1st grade, I was up at Mike and Doug's and we were going to play.
I think that was me.
Well, who was it? Yeah, you did, but he faked going through the line. So we were playing go through the line, which one guy runs to try and tackle him, and we didn't believe in that namby-pamby stuff like helmets and equipment. We didn't have it in the 1st grade, and so Mike and I were supposed to tackle Doug, and so he ran right between us and he stopped, and Mike put his head down and plowed me in the nose and broke my nose in the 1st grade, and I didn't get it fixed till a couple of years ago. I went 50 years not breathing on one side because of that who can go through the line deal we played. Of course, Mike was good at taking care of people. They were digging out a hole with the back of clawed hammers, and he hit Bobby Bones in the head with it, and you nail Bobby in the head with a clawed hammer.
Yeah, and he went in the house crying. I went home.
Imagine why
running
that
home.
sissy.
Oh, mercy.
Oh God, that was bad. I wonder what his mom thought about that.
He's dead now too, isn't he?
Bobby, poor Bobby, his dad was a pilot.